What's up guys, BlueLycanroc here, and welcome back to the Sea of Thieves Adventure Log.
We shall sail together.
A series on the channel where I will be providing a guide for the latest adventure, showing where the hidden journals are, and exploring the hidden lore behind the adventure along the way. If you want to catch up on the story so far, the previous episodes have been compiled into a playlist, and is shown up here in the info card. So, sit back, relax, and put that pineapple on the stove. Today, we are diving into the newest Sea of Thieves adventure, The Forsaken Hunter. Golden Sands Outpost is saved! And because Team Merrick won the Battle of Golden Sands in the previous adventure, the outpost has now been repaired, under the name of New Golden Sands Outpost. How original. The traders have begun to move back in, and everything has been reopened, even if the island still shows some battle scars from the previous adventure. However, something doesn't feel right. Everything just seems a little too peaceful. Especially when Joe Neat himself said that the Reapers aren't done yet. I don't know. Hold on, I just gotta turn in these fish real quick. Gotta get to Hunter's Call 50. Where's Merrick? Talking to Lorena, we find out that Merrick has mysteriously gone missing from his sea post.
I'm asking everyone I meet if they've seen Merrick around lately. He vanished from his usual fishing spot and hasn't been seen since. Maybe it's nothing and he'll turn up with a belly full of grog. But something has me worried. Here, I wrote down the last place he was seen. There might be a clue to where he is now. Merrick's done so much to help us all. If he's missing, we should do everything we can to bring him home. Good hunting, pirate!
And tasks us to head over there to see if there are any clues or leads that we can follow. Heading to Stephen Spoils, there isn't anything here. Anything but this scroll. Picking it up, we can see that this is in fact a note from Merrick, telling him to go to the uncharted island of K9. K9 Island is one of those islands that hasn't really been used that often outside of Tall Tales, so it is cool to see it used again. And upon arriving, we see a familiar sight, Belle's buoy. Talking to her on the shoreline, we're warned about the truth before she raises her lantern up, revealing the phantom traces of Merrick's fate.
Well then, it is time you learned what took place here. For better or for worse. Poor Merrick. Lured out here alone, only to be attacked and cut down on the sand. I don't know who would want Merrick dead, but I fear this is his final end. If his spirit did not reach the ferry, he will be lost to us, consigned to oblivion. The only way to understand all this is to learn the identity of whoever's behind that mask. I suspect this is their journal. It's badly damaged, but along with my lantern, it may lead us to the truth. It won't be easy, but we have to try. I owe Merrick that much. We all do.
Where he is being ambushed by a mysterious masked assailant, with no evidence left behind of where this assailant went, besides a tattered journal, where she happened to write down her plans, including the next location of where she would be heading to next, Wanderer's Refuge. For over 2 years now, Wanderer's Refuge has been the location of Wanda the Warsmith's hideout, and this next step requires us to find our way inside of this hideout, The journal gives us a clue, and luckily for any Sea of Thieves veterans out there, you guys already know what to do here. For those who don't know where this hideout is, or how to get inside, head under the main archway and squeeze through this little gap in the rocks. Through the short cave, you will soon be inside of Wanda's hideout. Walk to the elevated table and rotate the skull around. This will open the door behind you. Hold your lantern up high, and the secrets will be revealed.
The fisherman is dead, but I'm not safe here. Time to keep your end of our bargain.
Patience, sister. Our phantoms are waiting for you. But be sure to conceal my instructions. You must not be followed.
Following those ghostly footprints all the way up the island, we are eventually faced with a split path. Going left will continue the adventure, but going right will lead us to our first journal. A good thing to note here, these journals are pretty difficult to spot on their own, but with the lantern raised, there are always a trail of footprints leading directly to the journal, and a phantom of the masked assailant above the journal. Following the trail to the left, we eventually see the assailant burying something. Digging this up, we find out that these are pages from that journal, directing us to 2 different locations, with the first one being Sailor's Bounty. Once we arrive at the largest island of Sailor's Bounty, follow the footsteps with your lantern until you reach the next phantom trace. This time, it's a few phantoms of the Dark Brethren, handing over a trident of dark tides to the masked assailant. What could they want with this? Are they doing a Fort of Fortune and need to speedrun it before they get attacked? Well, whatever they plan to do with it, we don't have much time to think about it, because we are then ambushed by a few rogue phantoms. Defeating them updates our quest log, which tells us to go to the location of the second page. Head to Salty Sands, the next location in our quest, to find out what the Dark Brethren's plans are. Looking at these phantom traces, this masked figure is that second masked stranger we saw alongside Wanda back in the Forts of the Forgotten trailer. I'll talk more about why this is such a big deal in a little bit, but keep this in mind as we continue on. Once we arrive at Salty Sands, follow that same trail to find the third journal, and the meeting site of some more phantoms. What could they want with the Gold Hoarder's skull? Last I checked, we smashed him to pieces. Unless... Picking up the next orders, we're shown that the next place the masked assailant went to was Cannon Cove. And this time, they said to bring the Mystic. Just like last time, we follow the footprints, find the journal, and find the final phantom trace. I know it's a bit repetitive and straightforward, but bear with me. Things are about to get spicy. This final phantom trace has Madame Olga from the Order of Souls binding the Gold Hoarder's skull and that trident of dark tides. This is not good. You see, in the title screen of Season 6, we can see the Veil of the Ancients with 5 Veil Stones, not just the 3 that we are tasked to gather in the Legend of the Veil voyage. This is no coincidence, because the eyes of the Gold Hoarder's skull are the other 2 Veil Stones. Back before the trading companies were formed in the Sea of Thieves, the Gold Hoarder was known as a pirate named Rathbone, who was a member of Ramsay the Pirate Lord's crew. And while Ramsay believed in establishing order in the Sea of Thieves through creating these trading companies, Rathbone was more interested in taking as much gold as he can for himself. And that he did. He ventured to the shores of gold to take as much gold as he can for himself. Piling as much as he could onto his little sloop, he didn't realize that the gold that he was taking was cursed, which caused his arm to become coated in gold. On his way back, Rathbone was ambushed by 2 galleons, who ordered him to surrender himself. But, consumed by greed, Rathbone refused to surrender, and his ship was sunk. Sinking into the depths of the sea, Rathbone tried desperately to take as much gold as he can carry in his arms from his sinking ship, which would cause him to be granted immortality at a terrible price. Rathbone died, but the Gold Hoarder was born. A powerful, cursed skeleton lord with the Veil Stones affixed behind the gemstones in his eyes. And now, with this ritual that Madame Olga had just performed, this has empowered those Veil Stones using the power of that trident. The Dark Brethren now possess their own Veil of the Ancients. Time is running out very quickly at this point, so we are tasked to head to Golden Sands Outpost to speak with Madame Olga as soon as we can to find out any details about who this masked assailant is. She tells us that she had no choice but to perform that ritual. Before they left, however, they paid a visit to their favorite weapons keeper, Wanda. With an O. This mysterious masked assailant left her a note, which Wanda has gracefully thrown away outside of her weapon shop. I mean, hey, she obviously doesn't need it. You always thought you were the better fighter out of us both. Now, you should know that I shall be taking my rightful place at the Wardsmith's side. I shall be the sister you could never be. Goodbye, fool. Signed, A. Interesting. On the back of this note is the symbol of the Sea Dogs. Could this be Amaranta? Is she that masked assailant that killed Merrick? And possibly DeMarco? If so, I was heckin' right. But there is only one way to find out. We must return to Belle at Canine Island with this information.
We have work to do. You restored the journal? Let me see. Yes, interesting. Recovered relics. Some sort of ritual. Ah, a clue at last. A note sent to taunt the weaponsmith, but on the back, a sea dog crest. Whoever Merrick's killer may be, it seems they've been lurking at the Sea Dog Tavern. We need to confront them, but the scepter they've forged makes them dangerous. Speak with me again when you're ready to depart. We'll face the one responsible together, and make them pay.
It's time to confront this masked assailant once and for all, and stop her from using that empowered trident. Because whatever they have planned can't be good, especially with Merrick still trapped in the Sea of the Damned. To the Sea Dog's Tavern! Load your guns, sharpen your swords, crews, to your ships.
Pirates! Always turning up where they're not wanted. I was sure I couldn't be followed. I suppose I don't need this anymore. I've been a wanted woman ever since DeMarco died. Nobody would believe I had nothing to do with it. I lost everything.
So, you decided Merrick had to pay for your mistakes?
Ha! Merrick's miserable life in exchange for a chance to start over. Somewhere my talents will finally be appreciated. It was an easy choice. Besides, there's still a lot we can learn from him.
But you killed him! His soul is lost to us!
Not lost, delivered to the Dark Brethren. If you have anything to say to him, Sea Hag, now's the time.
Merrick!
Don't worry about me, Belle. I can hold me son. I won't tell them nothing.
Won't you?
Time to say goodbye to this dreary old place. Now that I've completed this stuff, we can move between the worlds as we please.
You can't hide from me. The Sea of the Damned is my domain.
Not for long. Haven't you heard? I always take the winning side.
Merrick knows more than he realizes. We can't leave him to the Dark Brethren. I just need to find out where they're keeping him. Not to mention that scepter. Amaranta may think she's won, but this is very far from over.
So, it was Amaranta this whole time. I was right! And while she didn't kill DeMarco, Merrick is still trapped in the Sea of the Damned. It seems the Dark Brethren are in control now, and I don't think it will be easy to rescue Merrick. But this story will continue in Season 7, in the next adventure titled The Hunter's Cry. For now, however, I will be closing the adventure log. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this guide and found it informative, please make sure to give this video a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more Sea of Thieves guides, update concepts, and lore analysis videos. And as always, I will see you out on the seas.